Jab uppercut.
This is
2.
this is
4.
this is
Backhand roll.
So my name is Muma Mweemba from Sheffield, 29 years old, and I'm boxing at light welterweight. I've turned professional after about 53 bouts, something that has always been in the back of my mind for quite a long time. I had to wait for the right time. I joined a new gym in Sheffield, Sheffield City Boxing Club, about 5 years ago. And at that club, the levels that I was boxing at were increasing year on year. So I wanted to get to the highest level that I could possibly reach and see exactly what I could do before making the switch. So I improved loads over the last 5 years in particular, and I've waited for the right time to do it, which is now. I suppose it will be a lot different in the professional game. They talk about the transition from the amateurs to the pros. The amateur game was a lot more about point scoring, so hitting your opponent as much as you can. Obviously in the pro game it's a lot different. We have to adjust to longer rounds, so adjust your pace accordingly, and you're in there to hurt your opponent. It's not about scoring a point, it's getting your opponent out of there.
He's a great addition to my stable. He's a well-schooled amateur boxer. He had over 50 amateur fights, been boxing. He's 29-year-old, so he's well-schooled, he's well-experienced, and the kid can really fight, and he's fitting well with the new setup we've got. He's a real pleasure to be in. He's learning all the time, and he's got great sparring with Lee Appleyard, Andy Townend, and Robbie Barrett, and it's really brung him on. And in a short space of time we've been together, he's really improving. But same with Muma, he's got good support. He's done well with his tickets. So it makes the job, same again, a bit easier for me bringing an opposition in. But I believe I can fast track him and spear him on, and I definitely believe he can be a championship level fighter.
So what got me into boxing? I got into boxing at quite a young age. My dad used to watch the Chris Eubank and the Nazim Hameds at the time, so that's when I used to watch it. Quite random how it happened. One of my friends actually entered a new boxing gym, and he said it's something that he thought that I'd like. Being a sportsman that I am, done every sport that you can think of. So I went into the gym about 16 years old. Followed him, and before I knew it, the trainer was asking me if I wanted to have a bout. So said, yeah, I'll have the one bout. Had the first bout and wanted to have another one, and then another one, and then another one. I just loved it that much. In terms of inspirations in boxing, I like to take a lot from everyone. I'm one of those people that likes to learn from everyone. I think every single individual out there can teach you one thing. They might not be the best in the world, but they'll be the best in the world at the sport, but they'll be the best person at one thing in particular. So I look at a lot of different people and I take the best of things that I can. Floyd Mayweather's boxing skill, Chris Eubank's swagger, Carl Froch's chin and his grit, his determination. There's a lot of things that I take from a lot of fighters. I want to say that I'd like to be my own inspiration. I'd like to be an inspiration for others, potentially show people that you can potentially live your dream. So my ambitions in the sport, obviously it's quite early on, and we take it step by step. So I'd like to say that my ambition to begin with is just to ensure that I can have a smooth transition, and that's what the focus is for the first fight, or whenever Stefy tells me. There afterwards, let's look at where we get to and then start thinking about the titles. Obviously, if you are a fighter, you're in this business to win titles, and that's exactly what I'm here to do myself.